I think FinTech became hot in May of 2009 when Jack Dorsey and Jim McKelvey set out to create what is now known as Square.
It was one of the, not because of the iPhone. It couldn't have happened without the iPhone, no, because it was a little dongle for the iPhone.
There were three things that happened, in my opinion. Firstly, we were coming out of that financial crisis, the 08-09 financial crisis, and very smart engineers became a lot more aware of the impact that technology could have on creating a better financial system for all Americans and globally. The second concept was the advent of the iPhone. We were there in the early days of the iPhone, and what the iPhone allowed was massive computing power at a very, very small size scale together with the dongle. And to Jack's and Jim's credit, and I don't think anyone's going to dispute this, they figured out that you could send the mag strip transaction data through the jack, the headphone jack on the iPhone, and then use it as an input device.
And was that not Jack? That was your
Jim McKelvey, who's working with me on Launchpad. Absolutely, he came up with that. He is the engineer that led the team, and together with Jack's brilliance in marketing and user experience, developed Square. And it's fascinating because
when it came out, you were advisor early, so you just have written it right from the beginning.
Yes, I was very fortunate to be one of the first advisors to the business.
Do you remember what the first raise was? Was it a small amount, or was
it was a small amount? I think I recall it was a 40 million pre-valuation.
Most firms. That at the time, that's crazy, right?
Well, but this is the guy that could send a strong message in 140 characters. That's Jack Dorsey. Yeah. And the guys were running around with a first presentation that's widely available on the internet today, which gives 140 reasons why we were going to fail. And that I recall sitting in an investment meeting at Venrock amongst other firms and looking around the table. It was really the first time professional VCs were told by the proprietors of a business why they were going to fail. Yeah. There's an unbelievable sense of transparency and honesty that is central to what Square is about. And Jack and Jim have it.
Who do you think wrote that deck?
Definitely Jack.
Okay.
That's Jack.
Okay. And so, did he have a beard at the time?
No, clean shaven.
So FinTech, that really did. I mean, I talk about this all the time. I just missed it because, and it's all my fault because the naysayers were like, well, it'll never grow beyond, I guess because of the valuation. I said, well, it'll never grow beyond America. Has it grown beyond America, and has that mattered?
Well, firstly, it hasn't mattered because America is so big, and that's what we all remember about America and love about America.
I think this goes to your fun. Like we have
exactly. This is America. But to answer the question on Square, Square has gone big. It's big in Australia and New Zealand, big in Japan, big throughout Western Europe. There's been combinations, and there are a lot of copycats. But what Square did, and that's why the naysayers were wrong. When you look at new markets and opportunities, focus on how you can grow a market, not gut a market. The Square focused on these very large pool of underserved sellers. Let's not even call them merchants. It could be the flight instructor who Jim was using to get his pilot license. It could be sellers at local markets. These are merchants. These are people that are selling things, and that really lit the fire and helped this company and many others move up the value chain. It is remarkable when you look at the market cap in financial services, how it's ballooned over the past decade. And the large banks and big players have got bigger. They're a lot more valuable as companies today. But 25% of that new market valuation, let's call it the balloon, is dominated by new entrants on the public markets, companies like Square. And look at PayPal. That company has massively expanded over the past decade as well, benefiting from the same trends. Now, sometimes PayPal is later to the party than Square is, particularly in the crypto space where they've just...
And Venmo. Well, Cash App was after Venmo. So, okay, so they go back and forth.
Yeah, they do. And when I look at this, I strongly believe that engineers looking at financial services are recognizing that this is a very exciting space to get in, that a bank account is an address. An address can be digitally maintained and distributed and give you access to your cash and savings opportunities wherever you go. And I think what the pandemic certainly has done is accelerated the growth of broad-based financial services. We see that with companies like Square and PayPal. The concept of a brick and mortar financial institution, well, who needs it anymore? I can't even walk into some banks around where I live in the East Bay of the Bay Area because they closed. So come on, when the bank's closed, you still need to get your money. If you've got a safe deposit box at some of these institutions, you've got to make an appointment to ask them to open the bank so you can get into your safe deposit box.